What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my Week 6 wide receiver rankings, half point PPR, as always. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Leave me your start sit questions, all that good stuff. I will respond as always. Let's hop right into these rankings. So, at 1, I've got Davante Adams against Chicago. I know that the Bears have a good defense, but I'm not scared of their secondary. And Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers next level. Saw him absolutely dominate Cincinnati. He's going to keep getting that super large target share, which gives him the opportunity for a massive explosion week any given week. Cooper Kupp at 2 against the Giants. Strong matchup for him. Again, their secondary is nothing special. Tyreek Hill against the Washington football team. Tyreek Hill, you're playing every single week. Another guy who can just blow up. Not worried about his knee injury. You're still playing him, obviously. Mike Williams at 4 against Baltimore. Mike Williams, you are playing every single week. He's a top 6, top 5 wide receiver rest of season to me. At 5, you have Terry McLaurin against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are being destroyed through the air, and their defense has not looked good. I expect the Washington football team to be throwing a lot in this game. You are playing Terry McLaurin for sure. At 6, I have Stephon Diggs. I know the touchdowns have not come yet, but that Tennessee Titans defense is a juicy matchup. So I'm playing him. DJ Moore at 7 against Minnesota. Think think he is another top 10 every week locked and loaded play rest of season. At 8, Keenan Allen against Baltimore. Doesn't have the touchdown upside quite of Mike Williams. I do think he is a second fiddle in that offense now, but still a top 10 play in that matchup to me. That could be a shootout, even though the Baltimore Ravens have a solid secondary and a good defense. At 9, Justin Jefferson against Carolina. I'm playing him as well as Jamar Chase against Detroit. They get done in different ways, but you're still playing them both. Mike Evans this week against Philly. Huge touchdown upside every week from Mike Evans. That's why I have him at 11. 12, we got DeAndre Hopkins against Cleveland. Bounced back last week. I think the main reason for the lack of targets and just overall kind of down weeks he's had recently is just because he was dealing with that injury. I expect him to continue to rock and roll like he was last week. At 13, I got Deontay Johnson against Seattle. He's been getting a ton of targets this year. 14, Chris Godwin against Philly. Similar thing to Mike Evans. I think with Gronk out, Gronk could play this week, although it's a Thursday night game, so I'm not betting on it. But if Gronk doesn't play, I think you can fire up Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin all with confidence. If they're not, I think you can still do it. You just got to you're rolling the dice that 2 of the 3 are probably going to be good. AJ Brown 15 against Buffalo. Got a good amount of targets and limited snaps. I think he'll play more snaps, especially with it being on the Monday night game. He'll have some time to rest. I'm playing AJ Brown. I think he's going to get it going eventually. He just needs to do something with one of his targets. It takes one play for him. I think that play is coming. CeeDee Lamb 16 against New England and 17 Amari Cooper against New England. I think that Bill Belichick will probably try to take one of these guys out of the game or eliminate the running game. But whichever he does, the other one I think will be able to feast. So you're taking a little bit of a dice roll there with that matchup, but I'm still not afraid of it. DK Metcalf at 18 against Pittsburgh. DK, I know he looked solid with Geno Smith last week, but I do think they'll go much more run heavy this week. I don't know if the targets will be there, and I think he's more of a top 15 back end range, right where I have him. To be honest with you, just a lot more risk with DK now that Russ is out. 19, you have Marquise Brown against the Chargers. He's been getting in every single week. You are playing Marquise Brown every single week. Brandon Cooks against Indy, another guy I think you can play this week as a top 20 option. Robert Woods, we saw him break out last week, have a good game. I expect the targets to continue to be dispersed more evenly in the future, so I think you can play Robert Woods any given week. 22, Antonio Brown, touched on him earlier when I talked about the other Tampa Bay wide receivers. And at 23, you have Davante Smith. He's been getting a ton of targets. Tampa's a great matchup. They're going to have to throw. They're going to be coming from behind. You can play Davante Smith this week as a really good option. Courtland Sutton against Vegas. His only bad games were against the Jets and then when Drew Lock came in. So I think you can play Courtland Sutton and have confidence in him with Teddy Bridgewater in the lineup. Michael Pittman, ton of targets. We saw him have a good game last week. I think he scored a touchdown. I'm almost positive. He's been long string of games with lots of targets, so expect him to continue to produce for fantasy. 26, Jacoby Myers against Dallas. That's a game where I think they'll have to throw it come from behind, and Myers getting a lot of targets out of that slot position. Adam Thielen against Carolina. Uh, you're playing him, touchdown upside any given week. T. Higgins, excellent matchup for him against Detroit. Same thing for Emmanuel Sanders against Tennessee, who's been getting a lot of touchdowns, running a lot of routes in the offense. And then Julio Jones, assuming he plays with the hamstring, I think that's going to be a shootout in Buffalo. They're going to need to throw the ball a lot to keep up. Um, Obviously, they're going to continue to run the ball. Derrick Henry, they commit to the run, but if you're down 24, that second half could be a lot more passing. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Until next time, this is Fantasy Joe.